Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Hopeful Chewbacca back at the Search of Chewbacca, and today we're going to go over the Hut All-Stars, and I guess kind of what the next event's going to be. It seems like March 26th, which I believe is next Friday, so this is going to be the next event. And what you guys can do until that next Friday is there's going to be 4 packs in the store that you guys can pick and vote for who you want to be the Hut All-Stars, as well as each pack has a Hut All-Stars collectible. You need to keep the cards in your inventory, which are loan items, until next Friday for your vote to count. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the store, we're going to open these 4 packs, and I'm going to go over who I pick for my All-Stars at each position within each division. That's why there is 4 different packs. Let's get into it. As mentioned, you want to go to the store, so you're going to go to the store tab, pop in here, and we'll go over here. They got all these NHL moments, which is the current event going on, some of the stuff that for the packs that came out today. And as you can see, there's 4 different packs for the division. I'm going to open these up, go over each round and who I vote. Vote for whoever you want to vote for the All-Stars. I'm going to explain in each card why I vote for that card to be one of my Hut All-Stars. So we started with the North Division, and it looks like it's going to be centers. Just for quickness, I'm going to hit square and just reveal all of them. I don't think there's a reason to really go into each and every single one of them. So as you can see, it's going to be 4 guys, and it's their base card. As you Shifley started out with an 85, Matthews had an 85, Draisaitl had an 86, McDavid had an 87. I'm going to assume that it's just their base card ratings, and it looks like it's the same exact synergies that their base card has. Now, being that this is going to be a new event, I'm probably going to pick guys that really don't have an event card yet, just to make it a little bit different, because like they just had a McDavid, Draisaitl has a Team of the Year, and Matthews has the Styles icon. So let's go with the Mark Scheifele, just because he doesn't have an event card yet, and I actually really do like playing with Scheifele. An event card for him would be nice, so I'm going to vote for Scheifele here. Into the next round, it looks like it's going to be left wingers. We got Connor, Tkachuk, Ehlers, and Gaudreau. I don't like Gaudreau. I think he's a little bit too small, so I'm going to avoid him. Get him out of there. Tkachuk, he's a big body. He's a power forward. Don't really like that. So it's between Connor and Ehlers. I'm going to go with Ehlers because he does have howitzer. I don't think that's going to have anything to do anything. Although Connor has speedster. Ehlers is an absolute monster. He just had that Team of the Week 90 overall. Super fast skater. Hopefully they give him an event card that relates to him skating very fast, because that'd be really nice to have a winger that's left-handed that skates very fast. So we're going to go with Ehlers for me. The next option is going to be right wings. We have Wheeler, Boeser, Nylander, and Marner. Now, we did have a William Nylander card earlier on. I'm sure a lot of people are going to pick Mitchell Marner because Marner's just a Toronto Maple Leaf. We know there's a lot of guys around the Toronto area, the Maple Leafs fans that play the game. So I'm going to make an assumption that Marner wins here, but I actually want to see a Blake Wheeler. Even though he already had an event card, it was a low-end event card. He's 6'5". Another good power forward in the game would be super nice. So I'm going to go against guys already at events cards here and go with the Wheeler, even though I do think Marner ends up winning through the community. Boeser has the fantasy hockey card, so there is no point on picking a Boeser card. Now we're going to the left defenseman. They're all going to be left-handed. Darnell Nurse is who I'm going to go with based off of these. There's Shabbat, Quinn Hughes, Morgan Riley. Once again, I do think Riley wins just being a Toronto Maple Leafs. Maybe the Shabbat or Hughes has a chance. I'm going to go with Darnell Nurse. He's a big-bodied 6'4" guy. Would love to see another big-bodied defenseman card for an event. These are going to be right defensemen. We have Jeff Petrie, Rasmus Anderson, who actually just had an 86 overall style icon card recently. Then we have Tyson Barrie and Neil Pionk. Pionk has a fantasy hockey card, and we're actually going to do a review maybe this weekend of the fantasy hockey cards that came out where they scored goals, kind of just see where their overalls are, see how accurate I was in picking and ranking them. I think that I was not that accurate when we go back over it. I think I had a few guys that were boomer busts that might be pretty decent. But I do think for these picks, Petrie's a big defenseman. I'd like to see him. I think he wins because he's a Canadian. We're going to go with Jeff Petrie. He's also had a phenomenal year. There's a lot of prime times in Team of the Weeks. 4 goaltenders. Markstrom just had an event card, so I don't think it's good to go with Markstrom. Carey Price, can never go against Carey Price. He's been carrying Montreal's franchise for a little bit here. We have Hellebuck, and then we have Anderson. I'm going to go with Carey Price. I think he probably wins based off the 4 goaltender options, although I wouldn't be mad at a Frederik Anderson card either. And then for the last round of picks, this is a tough decision here. As you can see, they're all very different collectibles. I guess I'll have to go with the third one over. It just looks like it's the shiniest one. So what we got for my picks, at center, we got Mark Scheifele. Then we have Nikolai Ehlers, Blake Wheeler. So we got 3 Jets. We're just going with a Jets line. I didn't even realize I did that. I just think that they'll be the most interesting for event cards. Then we have Darnell Nurse and Jeff Petrie, two guys that are bigger bodies for defensemen, and then we got Carey Price, a goaltender, coming out of the North Division for players, and of course this collectible. So we've done the North Division. Let's move on to the West Division. For the West Division, we have Ryan O'Reilly, Nathan MacKinnon, Anze Kopitar, and Jordan Kyrou. Now, it would be kind of interesting to see a Kyrou because he does only have a 76 overall card. I know he has like an 85 from the 94 flashbacks. I believe it's an 85, might be an 86, which is a halfway decent card, but it's really not that great. Kopitar's one of my favorites. He wears number 11. My two favorite numbers are 11 and 15. So Kopitar's always had a soft spot in my heart for wearing number 11 because he's one of the few guys to wear 11 besides like the Saku Koivus. So he's always a guy that I've always looked to. Nathan MacKinnon's card will probably be nasty because of speed. Ryan O'Reilly just gets no love. They always make his card really slow skating, but he has really good face-offs. Me personally, I'm going to pick my favorite guy out of the four, and that's Kopitar. I think he hasn't really had an event card in the last couple games, I don't think. So why not give Kopitar the nod here? He's been a little stymied, I would say, although I do think Nate MacKinnon probably wins because he's going to have the nastiest event card, but he's already had one this year. That Winter National, that card's phenomenal, so let's give Kopitar the nod here for me. Now we're moving on to the left wings. We have Evander Kane, David Perron, and Max Pacioretty, as well as Brandon Saad. Saad's a guy that hasn't an event card. David Perron's one of those guys that's been overperforming, in my opinion. Kane's having a great year. Then we have Pacioretty. Personally, I'm going to go with Evander Kane. He's having a phenomenal year. I think he deserves the event card. Last year, I would have given it to David Perron, though, because he had an outstanding year and really deserved to get some recognition. For right wingers here, we have Connor Garland, Dustin Brown, Mikko Rantanen, and Mark Stone. Now, Mark Stone already has an event card, so he's out the window already. Rantanen's actually a bigger body. He does have a 90 overall card for the 94 flashbacks, but I really do like this Rantanen. I think that he might be the best option. I'm not sure how big Garland is. Let's see how big of a player Garland is. He's 5'10". So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go with the Mikko Rantanen here. I'd like to get a little bit of a bigger body guy for an event card, so let's go with Mikko. For left defenseman, we have Chicherin, Theodore, Gerard, and Krug. Personally, I don't like Krug. I don't like the way he plays in the game. He's kind of smaller. Gerard's the same type of build. So I'm going to put it down between Chicherin and Theodore, being that I don't think there's that many great Coyotes, and you're not going to have too many great Coyote cards. I'm going to go with Chicherin. For the right defenseman, we have Makar, Dumba, Falk, and Doughty. Doughty already has an event card, so does Makar, so those two guys are out. Falk and Dumba. I mean, I'd like to see a Minnesota Wild, I guess, with Dumba. I really do like Justin Falk, but I'm going to go with Dumba here. Wild's having a pretty good season, he's a big part of it. For goaltenders, we have John Gibson, Marc-Andre Fleury, Philip Grubauer, and Jordan Binnington. So Fleury already has a card. His 93 overall card plays way above his attributes. It's absolutely phenomenal. So he's out the window, even though he's my favorite goaltender of all time. Let's go Penguins. Then we have Grubauer and Binnington. Great cards, but I'm going to have to go with the Pittsburgh native, John Gibson. Got to pick him. You know, we just got to keep it real over here. Once again, we're back to the hardest round, the 7 out of 7 round collectible. We're going to go once again for the third collectible over. Quick recap of who we picked. We got Kopitar, Kane, Rantanen, Chicherin, Dumba, and Gibson. It looks like we picked a guy from a different team this time around. Not really on purpose. I go round by round, but it's just how it worked out. And then the collectible. Moving on from the West Division over to the Central Division. The centermen from the Central Division are Jordan Staal, Joe Pavelski, Braden Point, and Steven Stamkos. Now, Stamkos already has an event card. Braden Point's having a heck of a year. Joe Pavelski has like a 95 or 96 overall fantasy hockey. He was one of my boomer bust cards. I told you he was either going to blow up because Sagan wasn't there or he was going to be terrible and age got to him. Well, he blew up. So if you invested in him, God bless you guys are having a great time. Jordan Staal, another guy drafted by the Pittsburgh Penguins. I like the way he plays. Bigger bodied centerman, but I'm going to have to go with Braden Point. I think he deserves it. I think he gets the nod here. He gets overshadowed by Kucherov and Stamkos on a regular basis. So let's give Braden Point some love. Moving on to the left wings of the Central Division, we have Forsberg, Kubalik, DeBrincat, Huberdeau. Well, obviously, Kubalik already has a card. He was the NHL 2030 card, so he's out. I really like Philip Forsberg, but we're going to pass on him. It's between Huberdeau and DeBrincat. I'm going to go with DeBrincat. Let's give the little guy some love. He's having a phenomenal year playing alongside Patrick Kane, and I think he deserves it. Moving on to the right wings, I've already mentioned Patrick Kane. We can go over Atkinson, Svechnikov, and Bjorkstrand. Bjorkstrand has one of the best 87 overall Team of the Week cards. He's having a phenomenal year with the Blue Jackets. Cam Atkinson's actually having a good year too. So Svechnikov. But Patrick Kane's like third in points in the league for a team that they said was not going to score. They weren't going to do anything offensively. Patrick Kane's washed. Man, Patrick Kane has proved all the haters wrong. Give my man the pick right here. I think he deserves it. Now we're on to the left defenseman. We have Keith Yandel, Roman Josi, Miguel Sergachev, and Victor Hedman. Hedman's out because he already has a card, although I think he's probably the best option for the game. Everyone wants to have a 6'6+ defenseman. Sergachev's kind of gets a little bit overshadowed by Hedman on a regular basis. Yosi's always an absolute stud, but he has an event card already. So it's between Yandel or Sergachev. I'm going to go with Sergachev because he gets overlooked, I think, and I just think it's his time. It's like the Braden Point from the first card. For the right defenseman, we have Aaron Ekblad, already has an event card. John Klingberg, killing it for the Dallas Stars. Dougie Hamilton already has an event card, 94 flashback. Then we have Philip Roenick, and I don't think that he deserves a card. I don't really like the way he plays. We're going to go with Klingberg here. Honestly, I don't really like any four of these options, only because Ekblad and Hamilton already had cards. Otherwise, I'd probably go with Dougie Hamilton if I'm being honest, but I'm going to give the nod to Klingberg here. For goaltenders, we have Lankinen, Reimer, Korpisalo, and Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky already has an event card, so does Korpisalo, which leaves you with James Reimer or Lankinen. And honestly, I'm going to go with James Reimer. We're going to go with Optimus Rhyme here. He's bringing back the days of when he was drafted by the Toronto Maple Leafs and probably overhyped, but let's bring in some Optimus Rhyme. Once again, 7 out of 7 round. We're going with the third collectible. Very hard choice. Quick recap, we have Braden Point, Alex DeBrincat, Patrick Kane, Miguel Sergachev, John Klingberg, and James Reimer with the collectible at the end. Make sure, guys, I didn't mention it the last 2 times, keep these cards until next Friday so your vote counts. Make sure you keep the collectibles, we'll probably need them. I will obviously give an in-depth review of the event like I do for all of the events that come out to let you kind of know what to do with them. Moving on to the last division, the best division, the East Division. The centerman for the East Division is Backstrom, Bergeron, Crosby, and Barzal. Now, typically, you don't go with the guy that already has an event, the 94 flashback Crosby, and then we got Backstrom, Bergeron. I think I almost have to go with Crosby. I always like playing with Backstrom. I'm a Penguins fan, but I can respect Backstrom's playmaking and his passing. Barzal's having a great year as well. Actually, let's go with Matthew Barzal. He deserves a card, I think, a little bit more than Backstrom, although Crosby will probably win. I think I'll go with Barzal even as a Penguins fan. For the left wings here, we have James Van Riemsdyk, Alex Ovechkin, Brad Marchand, and Artemi Panarin. Panarin already had an event card as well as he's a Team of the Year. He's actually had 2 event cards. He doesn't need a 3rd event card. Then we have Alexander Ovechkin. He has an event card that's very recent. His 95 is phenomenal. I don't see the need to have a better card than that. Brad Marchand, screw this little weasel. And then we're going to take JVR, though. I love JVR. Another Flyer. We're talking about my rivals here. And I guess we'll just have to go with the Flyers guy right here. For the right wing, we have Jakub Voracek, Sam Reinhart, David Pastrnak, and Brian Rust. I'm going to give my boy Brian Rust the nod here. I do think another decent choice would be Reinhart, but Voracek and Pasternak's already had cards. I do really like the International Voracek, and obviously the Team of the Year Pastrnak, I'm sure, is nasty. Never got to play with him. For the left defenseman, we have Eric Gustafsson, Ty Smith, Ivan Provorov, and Nick Leddy. Provorov, he's having a good year. He's become the #1 defenseman for the Flyers. Gustafsson's having a very good year as well. I'm probably going to go with Provorov, although Ty Smith and Leddy are kind of appealing picks. We'll go with the Provorov. For the right defenseman, we have Justin Schultz, Noah Dobson, Charlie McAvoy, and John Carlson. John Carlson's already had an event card. McAvoy, he's a little bit of a smaller guy. He's kind of become the #1 defenseman at Boston with Chara being gone and Torrey Krug leaving. However, I'm not sure I want to give McAvoy the nod. Dobson's another guy. He's a young guy. He plays with Leddy, plays with Pulak, and he's really doing a lot of good things. It's one of the reasons why the Islanders are so successful so far this year. Then we have Justin Schultz, the Penguins trader that went signed with the Rivals. So he's out. And he played like doo-doo last year. We're going to bring in John Carlson, even though he's already an event card. The size, and these guys are small. I don't really want another small defenseman, and Justin Schultz, he's out. So we're going to go with John Carlson. For goaltenders, we have Carter Hart, Vitek Vanacek, Tuukka Rask, and Semyon Varlamov. I guess we'll go with Carter Hart, young guy, Give him another card. Did he have an event card this year, or was it last year he had an event card? I think it was last year he had an event card. But we'll give him the nod here. I think he's the best young goaltender. I don't mind seeing him. He did have an NHL 2030 card. I think it was like a 90 overall, 89 overall. Varlamov, Rask, and Vanacek. Vanacek got to do a little bit more for me to pick him, so we're going to go with the Carter Hart. Once again, the collectible, we'll go with the third one. Really, the collectible doesn't matter which one you pick. I advise picking the first one because it's the closest. So looking at a quick recap here, we went with Barzal, JVR, Brian Russ, Ivan Provorov, John Carlson, and Carter Hart, as well as the collectible. I will say it's a little surprising to me that I picked 3 Flyers. I didn't really have a choice with the defenseman here. There was 2 Flyers. Goaltending was a little bit slim pickings. I would have loved to see a Tristan Jarry card, but he has not been playing very well, so he doesn't actually deserve to be an all-star. Brian Russ has been good. He's been good the last couple years. Hopefully you guys vote for Brian Russ in this position. I'm sure it won't happen. I hope we at least get JVR. I'd love to get at least JVR. That'd probably be the card out of all 6 of these I would go after that I picked, but if Brian Russ doesn't get the nod. Well, boys, make sure you get in the store here. Pick these all-star picks. Hold them until next Friday so your votes count. That's going to wrap up the little quick overview of what will be the event next Friday and my picks for the Hut All-Stars. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys picked or which cards you guys are excited to see in the game. Hopefully you guys had some similar picks to me and you're kind of like, man, that's a good idea to kind of get new event cards. Like everyone has an Austin Matthews or a McDavid or a Draisaitl. Do we really need a better version of that? So let's vote for Mark Scheifele. Something like that. I'm curious to see kind of who wins these picks. Hopefully you guys have the same type of thought that I do and we don't have the same event cards we already had. But if we do, we do. And hopefully they're good cards. So far, I don't actually mind the card art here. So let me know what you guys picked in the comments down below. Love to hear from you. And as always, I appreciate all the support. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with any of your friends that play NHL 21. You guys have a great day and be safe.